Chapter 12. Now these are they that came to David to Ziklag, while he yet kept himself close because of Saul the son of Kish. And they were among the mighty men, his helpers in war. They were armed with bows, and could use both the right hand and the left in slinging stones, and in shooting arrows from the bow. They were of Saul's brethren of Benjamin. The chief was Ahiezer, then Joash, the sons of Shemaiah the Gibeathite, and Jeziel, and Pelet, the sons of Azmaveth, and Berekah, and Jehu the Anathothite, and Ishmaiah the Gibeonite, a mighty man among the 30, and over the 30, and Jeremiah, and Jehaziel, and Johanan, and Jozabad the Gederathite, Eluzai, and Jeremoth, and Bealiah, and Shemariah, and Shephatiah the Haruphite, Elkanah, and Ishiah, and Azarel, and Joezer, and Jashabeam the Korahites, and Joelah, and Zebadiah, the sons of Jeraham of Gedor. And of the Gadites there separated themselves unto David to the stronghold in the wilderness mighty men of valor, men trained for war, that could handle shield and spear, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and they were as swift as the roes upon the mountains. Ezer the chief, Obadiah the second, Eliab the third, Mishmannah the fourth, Jeremiah the fifth, Attai the sixth, Eliel the seventh, Johanan the eighth, Elzabad the ninth, Jeremiah the 10th, Machbanai the 11th. These of the sons of Gad were captains of the host. He that was least was equal to 100, and the greatest to 1,000. These are they that went over the Jordan in the first month, when it had overflowed all its banks, and they put to flight all them of the valleys, both toward the east and toward the west. And there came of the children of Benjamin and Judah to the stronghold unto David. And David went out to meet them, and answered and said unto them, If ye be come peaceably unto me to help me, my heart shall be knit unto you. But if ye come to betray me to mine adversaries, seeing there is no wrong in my hands, the God of our fathers look thereon, and rebuke it. Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, who was chief of the 30, and he said, Thine are we, David, and on thy side, thou son of Jesse. Peace, peace be unto thee, and peace be to thy helpers, for thy God helpeth thee. Then David received them, and made them captains of the band. Of Manasseh also there fell away some to David, when he came with the Philistines against Saul to battle. But they helped them not, for the lords of the Philistines upon advisement sent him away, saying, He will fall away to his master Saul, to the jeopardy of our heads. As he went to Ziklag, there fell to him of Manasseh Abna, and Jozabad, and Jediel, and Michael, and Jozabad, and Elihu, and Zillethai, captains of thousands, that were of Manasseh. And they helped David against the band of rovers, for they were all mighty men of valor, and were captains in the host. For from day to day men came to David to help him, until there was a great host, like the host of God. And these are the numbers of the heads of them that were armed for war, who came to David to Hebron, to turn the kingdom of Saul to him, according to the word of Jehovah. The children of Judah that bare shield and spear were 6,800, armed for war. Of the children of Simeon, mighty men of valor for the war, 7,100. Of the children of Levi, 4,600. And Jehoiada was the leader of the house of Aaron, and with him were 3,700. And Zadok, a young man mighty of valor, and of his father's house 22 captains. And of the children of Benjamin, the brethren of Saul, 3,000. For hitherto the greatest part of them had kept their allegiance to the house of Saul. And of the children of Ephraim, 20,800, mighty men of valor, famous men in their fathers' houses. And of the half-tribe of Manasseh, 18,000, who were mentioned by name, to come and make David king. And of the children of Issachar, men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Of Zebulun, such as were able to go out in the host, that could set the battle in array, with all manner of instruments of war, 50,000, and that could order the battle array, and were not of double heart. And of Naphtali, 1,000 captains, and with them with shield and spear 37,000. And of the Danites that could set the battle in array 28,600. And of Asher such as were able to go out in the host, that could set the battle in array 40,000. And on the other side of the Jordan, of the Reubenites and the Gadites, and of the half-tribe of Manasseh, with all manner of instruments of war for the battle, 120,000. All these, being men of war that could order the battle array, came with a perfect heart to Hebron, to make David king over all Israel. And all the rest also of Israel were of one heart to make David king. And they were there with David 3 days, eating and drinking, for their brethren had made preparation for them. Moreover, they that were nigh unto them, even as far as Issachar and Zebulun and Naphtali, brought bread on asses and on camels, and on mules, and on oxen, victuals of meal, cakes of figs, and clusters of raisins, and wine, and oil, and oxen, and sheep in abundance. For there was joy in Israel. End of chapter 12. Chapter 13. And David consulted with the captains of thousands and of hundreds, even with every leader. And David said unto all the assembly of Israel, If it seem good unto you, and if it be of Jehovah our God, let us send abroad everywhere unto our brethren that are left in all the land of Israel, with whom the priests and Levites are in their cities that have suburbs, that they may gather themselves unto us. And let us bring again the ark of our God to us. For we sought not unto it in the days of Saul. And all the assembly said that they would do so, for the thing was right in the eyes of all the people. So David assembled all Israel together, from the Shihor, the brook of Egypt, even unto the entrance of Hamath, to bring the ark of God from Kiriath-Jearim. And David went up, and all Israel, to Baalah, that is, to Kiriath-Jearim, which belonged to Judah, to bring up from thence the ark of God Jehovah, that sitteth above the cherubim, that is called by the name. And they carried the ark of God upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, and Uzzah and Ahio drove the cart. And David and all Israel played before God with all their might, even with songs, and with harps, and with psalteries, and with timbrels, and with cymbals, and with trumpets. And when they came unto the threshing floor of Chidon, Uzzah put forth his hand to hold the ark, for the oxen stumbled. And the anger of Jehovah was kindled against Uzzah, and he smote him, because he put forth his hand to the ark, and there he died before God. And David was displeased, because Jehovah had broken forth upon Uzzah, and he called that place Perez-Uzzah unto this day. And David was afraid of God that day, saying, How shall I bring the ark of God home to me? So David removed not the ark unto him into the city of David, but carried it aside into the house of Obed-Edom the Gittite. And the ark of God remained with the family of Obed-Edom in his house 3 months. And Jehovah blessed the house of Obed-Edom, and all that he had. End of chapter 13. Chapter 14. And Hiram, king of Tyre, sent messengers to David, and cedar trees, and masons, and carpenters, to build him a house. And David perceived that Jehovah had established him king over Israel, for his kingdom was exalted on high for his people Israel's sake. And David took more wives at Jerusalem, and David begat more sons and daughters. And these are the names of the children whom he had in Jerusalem: Shammua, and Shobab, Nathan, and Solomon, and Ibhar, and Elishua, and Elpelet, and Nogah, and Nepheg, and Japhiah, and Elishama, and Beeliada, and Eliphalet. And when the Philistines heard that David was anointed king over all Israel, all the Philistines went up to seek David. And David heard of it, and went out against them. Now the Philistines had come and made a raid in the valley of Rephaim. And David inquired of God, saying, Shall I go up against the Philistines? And wilt thou deliver them into my hand? And Jehovah said unto him, Go up, for I will deliver them into thy hand. So they came up to Baal-perazim, and David smote them there. And David said, God hath broken mine enemies by my hand, like the breach of waters. Therefore they called the name of that place Baal-perazim. And they left their gods there, and David gave commandment, and they were burned with fire. And the Philistines yet again made a raid in the valley. And David inquired again of God. And God said unto him, Thou shalt not go up after them. Turn away from them, and come upon them over against the mulberry trees. And it shall be, when thou hearest the sound of marching in the tops of the mulberry trees, that then thou shalt go out to battle. For God is gone out before thee to smite the host of the Philistines. And David did as God commanded him, and they smote the host of the Philistines from Gibeon even to Gezer. And the fame of David went out into all lands, and Jehovah brought the fear of him upon all nations. End of chapter 14.